9:30 in the morning. Slim Lake. It's about 40 degrees. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cars in the parking lot, including mine. And I'm off for a little solo. Again, not a cloud in the sky. It's beautiful. So let's let the adventure begin. Well, I'm about halfway down the portage into Slim Lake. And by the way, it's just a beautiful portage, really nicely maintained. And it looks like something got disemboweled here. And that's all that's around here. There's no other furs, no remnants, so I don't know what it is. The things you find along the portage trail. This is the landing on Slim. It is just beautiful. Again, I'm starting to work up a little sweat. The sun is out in its glorious form, and I'm itching to get on the water. Let's go. It doesn't get any nicer than this. I'm in a t-shirt, not a breath of wind. The lake is just glass. This is Slim Lake. I'm heading up to a portage over there to go to Rice. This is Rice Lake. Not a bad portage. There are some trouble spots. There's actually 3 of them. The landing is a rock garden, and there's 2 little stream crossings. I'll film them on the way back that are a little bit difficult because it's basically, you know, again, a rock garden. But I'm surprised. I mean, this would be a beautiful campsite. Beautiful. Yeah, a pretty typical portage. Here's one of these stream crossings I mentioned. You got to kind of pick your footing to get across that up to the other side. It'll be interesting when I carry the canoe back, but you just take your time. Well, I'm on Hook Lake and the Hook Lake campsite. I talked to some people that were just coming out of this lake. There was one lake over to the south. I think it's called Keneu. But I know there's a big swamp on the end of that lake. Not that I'm worried about bugs, but I'm walking around this campsite here, again, on Hook Lake, and I'm really liking it. I'm really liking it. The kitchen's really nice and spacious and big. It's got logs. I think I found where I'm going to put my Una up. I can put it up right here between these trees. So when I wake up, I can look out the lake. Plus, I just love the rock formations. I mean, you can have dinner right here. Nice little ledge down there. Some really cool rock formations in the water. Camp is all in order. Let's see. Got tonight's firewood done. Yeah. It's supposed to have frost tonight. That's going to be pretty interesting. Got the Una set up. Love my hang in the Una. Just a wonderful experience. Wow. What an awesome campsite. I feel very fortunate to have gotten this. I think I'll sit out here and have my dinner. Right now I'm getting ready for cocktail hour. Got my little table set up. it sounds like we'll be getting some rain, possibly on Friday morning. So I found the perfect spot back here. A little bit far from camp, but not bad. And I got a fly set up, tarp set up, just in case. Just in case. I mean, what a monstrous, wonderful tent pad. So, yep, if we get rain, our dub will be ready. Just fabulous. Just fabulous. Yeah. It wasn't bad getting in here. It took me about 3.5 hours. There was one portage in between Slim and Rice that, oh my gosh, it was a rock garden. Had to cross a couple of streams and boulder hop basically with a canoe on your back. That's always exciting. But this campsite is definitely a 5-star. And I can't wait to fire up that fire tonight. I just can't wait. I just can't wait. All right, dinner tonight. Heather's Choice African peanut stew. I'll add a little bit of chicken to that. So here we go. Making dinner and looking at this. Oh my God. Woo, doggies! It doesn't get better than this. Looking back at camp. Yes, we're going to have a fire tonight. But seeing I was up at 5, probably going to be an early evening. But I'll try to come back. Look at that. Ah, dinner. Naan bread and the peanut curry. Ooh, doggies. And once again, the view. Winding down. Good morning. Man, I had a fitful sleep last night. Big fire. Got up about 6:30, did a bunch of camp chores, replenished the firewood for tonight. Just making sure everything's nice and toasty dry. Toasty dry. Oh. This year on this trip, I'm trying a different pair of portage boots. These are Keen Aerial 2s. Really fast drying. Of course, I still wear my waterproof socks, but really happy with this purchase. Very lightweight, water's filtered, Got everything out. The sun. Sun? Yes. We do have a sunny day. We do have a sunny day. Now, I did check on the inReach, and it sounds like we're going to have thunderstorms at about 9 o'clock tonight. So I think what I'm going to do today, I'm on Hook Lake. I think I'm going to go that way and go down and take a look at, I think it's pronounced Keneu, K-E-N-E-U, Keneu. Everything is buttoned up. Glorious morning. There's something magical about sleeping in the hammock, or in my case, a tree tent, where you can wake up in the morning and look out and see the surroundings, rather than being in a tent where all you see is your walls. So this morning I got woken by a woodpecker, and then I was looking out here and there were about 4 loons just diving and playing and diving and playing. Warm up that comforter. Warm up that comforter. So again, water's filtered, everything's dry, everything's organized. Gonna have some breakfast. And look at that pile of wood. All right, R-Dub, signing off. I always think it's cool when I'm up here when you see these great big glacial erratics. These great big boulders. I find that fascinating. Fascinating. Well, heading out my little day trip. I'm going to go to the next lake over and look at the campsite there. Got my pack hung. I noticed all kinds of chipmunks here, so I don't want them getting into anything. And everything's pretty well buttoned up. And I got my food, don't know if you can see it, way up there. Give you a little closer look. Way up there. So, away I go. Would you like to come along? Good. Then let's tip the canoe over and start the adventure. Oh, right away. Take a look at this. '87 in the sun. September 14th, 2023. Pretty amazing. Alrighty, this is the portage between Hook and Keneu. Keneu? I'm probably horribly mispronouncing it, but I'll go ahead and shoot this because this is exactly why I really suggest, you know, water hiking boots. What I mean by that, the new Keens I got have a hiking sole, but they're made to go in water and out of water. So, and they dry amazingly quick, which is great. So, oh, this is not an easy portage. So it's short. Looks like this tree blew over a while ago and left this nice big void. I just carried the canoe over. I was going to load everything in it, put the backpack on, but I figured this is short enough. The footing's tricky enough. I'll just take the canoe over. Wait till you see the landing on Hook Lake. Wait till you see the landing. This isn't bad here at all. Not bad. Not bad at all. And of course, everything is wet. The rocks are slippery. You just got to really take your time. And look at this. Isn't that beautiful? Love those rock formations. Really enjoy that. Speaking of rocks, all right, see, not very long at all. Just coming up to it now. And footing is a premium. Footing is a premium. All right, here's Hook Lake. And this is what I had to carry the boat across. Look at this. Look at those rocks. There's not a smooth area on them. So what I did is I chose to go way down there, bring the canoe in, and then hike it through these. But now I got to grab the oars in my small day pack and go back down the trail. Well, there was the portage I just came from with the rock garden at basically both ends, paddled over here. This is the other campsite I was considering. And from looking at it, I made the right call, staying on Hook Lake rather than coming here. Because it's on the peninsula, so if you get any wind, you're going to get a crosswind the whole time, which makes camping a little bit challenging. Pretty sight. I don't know where the tent pads are. They're probably way up there. Nice fire pit. Previous people left some wood, which is always appreciated. But yeah, I would say this is maybe a 3.5 star. Pushing 4, but not quite. Now, if it was the middle of summertime when you had bugs, then that would be a different story. But as you can see, it is breezy. Oh, look at this. They left a nice pile here. A little bit uphill. Let's back up in here. Okay, I guess here's one tent pad. Small tent. Yeah, I think I've seen enough. I got the better site. I'm back on Hook Lake, and this is called the cave. I've seen it in other videos. It looks like a piece has fallen down in there on the right-hand side. But that's the cave on Hook Lake. Another gorgeous day. Tried some fishing, but I don't think this is known for a lot of productivity in fishing. But I kind of like stuff like that. That's pretty awesome. Yep, the leaves are just starting to turn. I'm thinking when I'm back in 2 weeks. 2 weeks? Yeah, I'm coming back in 2 weeks. It's the big guy trip. There'll be a lot more color. And again, just to recap, I went down to the next lake, looked at the campsite, paddled back. God, that was a horrible portage. And did a bunch of fishing, went and saw the cave on Hook Lake, filtered some water, sorted some gear. I hiked all the way up the shore as far as I could, threw a few lines out there, nothing to speak of. And now I'm getting ready to make some dinner because they say thunderstorms after about 9 o'clock to 1 o'clock. And unfortunately, the Weather Channel Ely station is out, so I can't get a real accurate report. Maybe I'll pull one in tonight on my inReach. But now I'm just going to do one of my favorite meals actually out here. It is the risotto. Mushroom risotto. And I add some smoke flavored chicken to it, of course salt and pepper, a little bit of minced onion and garlic dehydrated. And this time I'm trying a new little toy. This is a Hydro Pack where I can actually have running water to cook with. How's that? All the luxuries at home. Of course, there's my food bag. So, this is it. Dinner time, then cocktail hour, and then, of course, my hibiscus tea, and off to bed. So that's what's happening up here. Oh, there's the bag for the tarp hanging. Ha. Just finished dinner, just washed dishes, and we got a little bit of rain coming down. So we're kind of moved up here, hunkered down. Hopefully it's not going to last too long. I can still enjoy a fire tonight. Yeah. Nothing bad. Nothing like last year we had torrential downpours. But this is why you set up a tarp. The rain has abated. It never rained that hard. And interestingly enough, sitting here underneath this tree by the fire grate, I don't get wet. Good morning. Had a little rain last night. Not much, just a couple pitter patters. It's about maybe 9:30. I was up at 7:30. You know, it's interesting. I find that each of these trips take on a different rhythm. For me, this trip is get up, make coffee, and get firewood, process firewood. I did check the inReach, and it looks like there's going to be no chance of rain today or tomorrow, so I did get enough to have a final fire. Got my second cup of coffee going, to which I will enjoy out on the point and just listen. And so far, I haven't seen a soul on this lake. It's been total solitude, which is really welcome in today's age. So my plan is to get in the canoe today and just travel all the way around this lake and fish it, all the little nooks and crannies, and see what I can come up with. And then get up tomorrow morning, hopefully by about 6, and be on the water at 9. And that'll place me back into Ely about 12:30, about 1 o'clock. But again, what a lovely sight. But one thing I have learned, this is my second solo, and it's my second solo where I just come and I base camp. And I find that there's sometimes not enough to do. I did take a nap yesterday. That counts as something to do, which is very unlike me. So I think next year I'm going to do one where I get up and I move, and I get up and I move. Because setting up camp and tearing down camp is a pretty, it's a big job because you're there all by yourself. But I really feel restless here. On to more coffee. Coffee! All right, it's breakfast time. Care to join me for a quick breakfast? One of my favorites. Egg in my little baby fry pan. First thing I like to do is use some ghee, which can be bought at the grocery store. And it's clarified butter. A little bit in the pan. Well, that's doing. How about a cup of coffee? So when you get your permit, they always ask you, hey, here are the rules. Let's take a little test. And they say, how far should you bathe? Or should you bathe in the water even with biodegradable soap? And the answer is no. You got to do it 200 feet from the water. And besides, I'm out here to enjoy the stink. Keeps the bugs away. As you can see, it keeps everyone away. Got little egg carriers. I tried making 2 of these at once yesterday, and the pan just can't handle it. So, my little piece of paper towel that I use to clean the pan. When I'm done, let's see what we got. Listen to that sound. Of course, a little salt. A little pepper. Actually, a lot of pepper. Oh. Got my little titanium plate. Weighs nothing. Piece of naan bread. I've already had a snack. Let's see how we're doing. And I like my oaks pretty runny. Oh, yes. Ah, another shot of coffee. There we go. Make sure it can slide around. Get the last bit of... That, my friends, is a Boundary Water egg extraordinaire. I'm going to eat this and thoroughly enjoy it. Break the yolk on the bread. God, that's good eating. I'm going to eat. I'm trying a different filter system for water this year. I've really been disappointed in Sawyer products. It seems I brought a brand new one out when I went out to the Angleworm Trail, and the thing plugged up almost immediately. Backflushed it, backflushed it. So hard, in fact, it blew up the little syringe that we're trying to backflush it in when we're backpacking. So I got this Hydra Blue. The thing I like about it, it's got a little window there that it can tell you when it needs to be backflush. See how the filters are kind of clean up top? Then when you go down, they get a little brown, so I'll go ahead and backflush that. The other thing is Hydra Pack. It's a very interesting system where this has a little attachment to go right in the top, and then you got a little plug here to plug it. I don't know if you can see that. So you can plug it, and then when you're in camp and you need some water, you have a little spout that you put in. It's really handy. I'm really impressed with it so far. So I got up this morning and I filtered 4 liters of water. That should be good for the day. And then while I'm out in the canoe, I don't bring water. I bring a bee-free. So I just dip in the lake and drink. So this year, this is what I'm using. Pretty happy with it. Again, hydro blue with a hydro pack and all the gadgets that goes with it. It's really turning out to be a great day. Well, in case you're interested, I do like to bring some luxury items with me, but they have to be dual purpose. Hence, the little Schwarze Biene, a German table, that has not only a place to cook or rest your drink, store your utensils, but more importantly, it's got this little pouch on bottom to store things like my weather radio, let's see, my inReach communicator, my little silky mini saw, which this thing is a charmer. Oh, I don't know how I get by without one of these things. Just a little 7-inch, just really cuts through wood like butter. Sorry to be cliche. And what else is in here? Oh, my wave. But the neat thing about this thing, and I did not bring all the little attachments. It has things you can screw onto the side here that could hold a telephone, obviously your cell phone. I'm not going to bring a cell phone here. I see no reason. That's why I chose to get the full-size inReach. I don't need to bring my phone. I can capture all the pictures and video I want on the GoPro. And with this, the battery lasts flipping forever. But what I really like about this is the way it compacts. So, you just unhook the bag itself. And I don't know if anyone's selling these in the States yet. All right, just a table, unspin it. And your little sections. When I ordered mine, I did order an extra section. Okay. And, these people have thought of everything. Inside here is a little pocket. Don't know if you can see this. That the, what do you call them, stakes slide into. Like so. And then I have a little thread cover that slides on. This drops inside the case. Or, the case or the shelf. And there you got it. Again, dual purpose. Table to cook or put your cocktail on. And storage for your things you need in and around camp. Because the biggest critical thing that I struggled with for years is how do you stay organized in and around camp? And I find little things like this that are dual purpose work fabulously. Again, it's a Schwarze Biene, which means black bee in Germany. And I don't off the top of my head know the website. But they're not cheap, but they're well worth the money. I bring this both canoeing and then backpacking because it packs down so small. Oh, man. Couldn't ask for better weather. All right, for those of you who are interested, again, this is the campsite off of Hook Lake. You enter on entry point 6, you go through Slim Lake, and then you have a short rocky portage over to Rice Lake, then I believe about 165, 170 rod portage into Hook Lake. Only had to use this for maybe 20 minutes last night. This is a nice super ultralight tarp, pretty inexpensive, it's Alps. But it does the job and packs up the size of an Nalgene bottle. But since it is nice, and if you're ever interested in coming to this campsite, which I highly recommend, here's the road to you know what? The road. Well, it's kind of worn like a road. Here's the path. Here's the stroll. Pretty easy. A lot of roots, typical up here because of the rock structure. Kind of a hike, but not too bad. And there she is, the throne. Very simple. And, well, I'm not going to show you inside because no one wants to see that. But it wasn't that full. And again, it's a little bit of a difficult how to get here. A little bit of a difficult. Yeah, I wouldn't say difficult. It wasn't hard. It was just very, very careful footing. And it's absolutely drop dead gorgeous. Clean campsite, which I always appreciate. I've been to some that are heavily used and usually spend the first hour just cleaning up. Because I always like to leave it better than I find it. Than I found it. But per the inReach, there's no chance of rain tonight and tomorrow. So when I come back from my little excursion, I'm probably going to do some pre-packing. Beautiful. I'm so grateful I chose to stop here and not go on to the next lake, because I did not like that campsite. Not like this. I mean, look at the size of this tent pad. You could probably fit at least 3 one-man, 2 3-man, I don't know. You could fit a lot. Well, it's the first person I've seen. I don't know if you can see it. Solo. He's going past. I don't know if you can see it. First person I've seen since Wednesday. Going to the next lake. I did bring up the binoculars, and there's not much gear in the boat, so he must be going super ultralight. It's the Tentsile UNA. Yes, I've shown this in other videos, but I thought I'd give a little bit more of a deep explanation of what my sleep system is out here. This is the Tentsile UNA. It's one person. It's a 3-point tree tent, so you sleep absolutely flat. You have these tighteners here. I have 2 of these, and then on this side, they're called web locks, by the way, there's a ratchet. And ratcheting across the backside is what makes it flat. The other thing I've discovered is you raise the front a little bit higher, but you do that with most hammocks. So that way you're nesting back in here. And I am a fetal sleeper, so I like to curl up in there, and I tell you what, it's a comfortable night's sleep. The other interesting thing is it's got this little hanging bag here. So at night I put things like my inReach, my electronics, rain jacket, and then when I change clothes in my night clothes, there's a trash compactor bag there that I put the clothes in so they stay dry underneath this. But the secret weapon to this system is, I'm not going to pull it out, but it's called a pongo pad. And it's just got a very unique cut where it's a little bit narrow at the head, wide at the body, and then tapers down towards the feet end. And it's by Kamok, and this thing fits like a glove inside of the Tentsile UNA. And it's got a double floor, so the pad, I don't know if you can see it, rests in there. And when you're inside, there's just the perfect amount of room for one person. So I got a little light hanging down here, my black diamond. I've got gloves, I got a balaclava, I have my Pezzle headlamp. On this side is my, what I call my ditty bag, and it's a new product also by Outdoor Vitals that's completely waterproof. And I keep things like glasses, meds, any secondary batteries or whatever. Then I also have an Outdoor Vitals pillow that's super comfortable. And I got to tell you, I stay so warm in this thing. And people ask me, is it claustrophobic? No, because when you're in it, the tarp basically stays flat. And hang on for a second. And you kind of sink down, so you have a lot of clearance between you and the tarp. I don't know if that angle really explains it, but man, what a nice rig. And right now I'm about 5 feet off the ground. Of course, when you get in it, it's going to lower itself down. But again, I'm a fetal sleeper or side sleeper. I'm just shy over 6 feet. I wouldn't recommend it for anybody over 6 feet. Again, 3-point system. The tarp is absolutely exquisite. You can raise and lower the tail depending on your weather. And the same you can do with the sides. When I was at Big Moose Lake last year soloing, I actually put a bungee cord in between this and the other side and really raked that down. So I was totally cocooned in there. And there's a secondary little line that's a bungee cord up to the tree that just gives you a little extra elevation here on the tarp. Now, as far as a sleeping system, there's my closeout drawing. There's a boutique company out of, I believe, Salt Lake City called Outdoor Vitals. And they sell, direct to consumers, no retail, their products. And this is a 15-degree down comforter by, again, Outdoor Vitals. It's got a full sewn-in foot box. It's very, very generous in the size. I always buy a long. And then if you're worried about getting cold, you can actually snap these things together on each side and kind of make a sleeping bag. But I find I sleep so warm in that thing that sometimes I have to push it off to the side. I did read the weather report before I came, and they said it's going to be relatively cool, but that didn't happen. Thank God. So I bought mid-weight long johns. The other philosophy that I have is when you sleep inside of a sleeping bag, you don't want to get your oils on anything. So again, I wear gloves, I wear booties. The booties here, they're a Polar Tech, Polar Fleece. I thought about taking out the Kenue, but the wind's kind of picked up. I'm going to begin it for most of the day tomorrow. So I just walked up here. Wow, by the boulders. I can't say enough good about this campsite. Incidentally, that gentleman that went by earlier, which I was assuming was going over to the next lake, came back. He must not have thought too highly of that campsite either. Ha. It's not as nice as this one. But I just love campsites that got interesting rock formations. I mean, these boulders are just everywhere. Look at that. Look at that pine. Man, that's huge. But there really isn't much of a trail here. But other than sometimes a rock garden, which you get used to it up here, in this portion of the boundary waters, is just gorgeous. And I don't know if you can see that, but there's a huge rock wall, big slab, I would say it's granite behind me. Amazing. It's an easy walk. Easy walk in the woods. Yeah, sure. Right along the lake. All these big points. Yeah, there's what I call the campsite sentry rocks. And there's looking back at this campsite. Again, this ledge, as you can see, it just goes on and on and on and on. So the question is, if I saw the same gentleman twice going into the lake next to me and then back out, does that mean I've seen one person or two persons or two people on this trip? Oh, this is wonderful. There's something around every corner that's interesting. And if you're quiet, you can hear the animals. You can hear the animals. But again, I just love these high ledges. That's about 30 feet down. And I say this goes on and on. Again, interesting boulders just strewn about. Like it on that one's pretty dead. So the sun came out and dried off the Alps tarp that I had here. I just wanted to give everyone another point of view. This is one of the most fabulous tent sites I've seen up here. Looks like 20 feet across. Got a little rock there, a couple roots there, but I would say that's good 20 by 20 square. I got lucky last year on my campsite on the northeast corner of Big Moose Lake, and I got just as lucky this year on the campsite of the the only campsite on Hook Lake. Highly recommended. Got a nice pontificated point, and the rock sentries guarding it. Woo, doggies, this is nice. Alrighty. The afternoon's starting to wind down a little bit. I've been busy. You know, there's two gentlemen that really inspired me to begin this project of YouTubing and videos. One is Sean Emery, aka Shug. So it's Shug Emery on YouTube, and he taught me a lot about, actually it cost me a lot of money. That's where I got the idea, or he gave me the idea, for that little table, the Schwarze Biene, the black bee. And the other one is Minnesota mostly. I believe his name is Brian Johnson. Both have outstanding channels. Sugar, that's how he got his name, Shug, because of his voice. And someone said, "Oh, your voice is so sweet. I call you Shug." That's how I got his voice. But anyway, highly recommend his channel. And Minnesota Mostly, Brian, I watched a lot of his where he spends time, he gets into camp early and makes it a better place. So in following his example, I rebuilt the fireplace. Made it a little bit more windproof. Obviously, if I'm going to do that, I had to get some more wood. But the interesting thing is, I don't know if you can see that, but there's not much leg left of that leg on the stove. It's pretty well rotten. But anyway, there's enough stones here that have been added that if they need to prop that up with a stone, they have quite a selection. So that's my little homage to Minnesota Mostly, MN Mostly, and Sean Emery, aka Shug. If you need any information on gathered end hammocks, he's the guy to go to. Also stoves and any type of gadgets, and control line model airplanes. All right, time to relax a little bit. Time to relax. Camp is cleaned, it's prepped. I've had a wonderful, relaxing day. So tonight I'm having a 3-course dinner. First course is going to be Camp Chow Singles burritos. I got my sauce, I got everything else. Second course is Trailtopia, beef with mushrooms and vegetables. Third course, 1 Kit Kat. And the reason why I'm doing 3 courses is this one's only 200 calories, that one's only 200 calories. So between that and adding in the tortilla shells, I should be able to get, close to 5, hopefully 600 calories. And this is going to be my view while I dine. Ah, it's a view to dine for. Hello, sentries. Thank you for guarding the campsite. And how does that look for appetizer? Love camp chow food. It's always tasty, seasoned exceptionally. And the packet's going to give me 2 of these and a little leftover, and then I begin my next course. All right, view sentries, don't go anywhere. It's chow time. Okay, here's the next one. I've never tried this before. Beef with mushrooms, vegetables, and noodles. Yeah, I can see the noodles. I can see some looks like green beans. Again, what had me concerned about this, it's only 200 calories. And I burnt well more than 200 calories. The trail foods was absolutely awesome. The beef burrito was so tasty with a little bit of sauce on it too. Chihuly sauce, that is. If you've never heard of Trail Foods, they're up on the Gunflint Trail in an area called Trail Center. And they're a little teeny tiny boutique, supplier. They don't want to go big. They don't want to be in every sporting goods store. They'd rather just do everything in small batches and serve people that know about them. All right, so here's the Trailtopia mix. Ramen, and stuff. It's not bad. It's a little bland, but let me show you a trick. All right. Peanut butter. You add peanut butter to it while it's still hot. And stir it in, and it becomes much more nutritious. The peanut butter gives you a really, really positive mouthfeel. That means it feels silky when you eat it. All right, just mix that in. Take your spoon. Now you just dialed up your dish majorly. Let's do a taste test. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So that's tonight's episode on Randall's Outdoor Cooking School. Remember to bring a couple extra little packets of peanut butter. You'll thank me when you're eating a bland meal. Well, I've been refraining from doing this, but come on, people. Come up here, enjoy it, respect it, but don't do stuff like this. I mean, look at the axe marks in there. Imagine that's your leg and that's your bone, and you're chopping at the bone. I mean, that's what the tree is all about. I mean, that's just plain stupid and sad, and actually kind of makes me very angry. Enough of us come up here and try to make things better for the next person. A lot of people come up here and just think that this is their personal property to destroy. Respect nature. It's been here longer than you have, and will be here longer than you have. I mean, do things positive. Whenever I come up here, I try to leave extra wood. So if a person comes in late, let's say that they've had a bad day, they can have a fire, okay? Enhance the fireplace. Make the place better. Boy, this new fireplace really reflects the heat. It's just died down slightly, but when it was roaring, man, that radiated back towards me. So I'm just sitting here, my last night in front of the fire. Just used the inReach. So we got a response yet? Let's see. Nope, no reply messages. Just sending my nightly text. But the other thing I like to do is the night before, I always carry a little pad with a pen. And I like to start taking notes about, the trip. For instance, what don't I need to go solo? Yeah, that little GSI table, it's nice, yeah, but it's really not needed. The other thing is I had 2-liter reservoirs to go with my inline water filter, my gravity feed. Nah, I don't think I need that. Just other various notes. I like about this as a little place for my business cards. And it's just really handy. Amazon for about 12 bucks. Anyway, just the way I'd like to recap. Sitting out by the fire, admiring it, the view last night, my century rocks, guarding. All right, seems my batteries are cold this morning, though it's not that cold. It's probably high 40s. On the water, heading out. There's the beautiful campsite and the campsite sentries. All right, walking back from taking the pack on the roughly little over half-mile portage between Rice and Hook. This is just a beautiful, beautiful, easy portage. Nice little walk in the woods. Legs feel good. On the way back, I ate a protein bar, but just thoroughly enjoying this. Not much up and down. And I wouldn't call a half-mile long at all. Maybe with a canoe on, but when you got the Northwind Solo, that weighs about 30 pounds. Pretty much nothing. All right, so just really enjoying this. Don't want to go back, but don't have a choice. All right, beautiful Rice Lake, very shallow lake. Came from the portage over here and I wanted to check out this campsite because I actually was considering doing 2 nights on Hook and coming over here for, you know, a quick get out in the morning. But I got up early and it was a beautiful morning. The portage was in good shape, kind of fun. Actually, portage was fun. Landings weren't bad. The next portage, though it's really short, it's very arduous at either end. Again, a pleasantry called the rock garden. No, this isn't bad at all. This is not very highly rated. A lot of down timber. Oh, look at this. People. What a mess. And someone left a nickel. You know what? When a coin's left, heads up, that's in my pocket for good luck. Yeah, I like the one that I had over on Hook. Oh, here you go, more damage. People, don't be abusive. I would have been struggling for a place to put up my tree tent. You got maybe one tent pad here. Yeah, this just feels very underwhelming. I made the right call. So doing a pinch, a big pinch, because I see really no trees. I'll probably have to go back in the woods a little bit further, which I don't like to do. All right, I would rate this a 2.5 star. Back on Slim Lake, a little bit of a breeze at my back. That's not a bad thing. Oh, there's my back. So I might check out a couple campsites on the way back to the main portage out of here. What a glorious day. You know, I really like getting up and getting on the water early when it's super, super calm and super clear. Because that way, if things work up, you hopefully, you know, through most of your portages to the next lake and obviously to the entry point. Also, I learned something last night. When I did my inReach, they said, okay, it's 0% chance of precipitation. And yet we were getting these light sprinkles every 15 or 20 minutes for like an hour. It'd rain and stop. So what my recollection is and what my assumption is, it's 0% measurable precipitation. Huh. So again, 0 means 0% measurable precipitation. All right, here's a campsite closest to the portage, just to the south. The portage is around that direction. The reason why I stopped is I looked at this. This is a nice little sand beach. Very easy. Let's go up and take a look at it. All right, nice little fire grate, kitchen on a point, up off the water, which I like. Easy access for water. What do we got here? Well, you got a tent pad here, maybe. There's a nice one back here. Okay, another tent pad. And yet another, well, that'd be a rough tent pad, but it's usable. Yeah, I rate this about 3.5 stars. What it's missing for me are the triangle of trees for the Una. Well, I guess you could do it here. Be kind of a mess. Well, not bad. If you had a hammock, you could go basically between these two trees, then have a beautiful lookout over the water. Very nice. Then there's one more. It's supposed to be the best one on the lake. Hopefully it's not occupied. It's just a little bit to my south before we hit the exit point. That's actually has it behind an island. So let's see if that one's occupied. All right, so the land right ahead of me is a little island. I'm trying to sneak in. Behind this island and see if the campsite's open. Pretty island. Really pretty. Let's just see. Get behind this point. So I don't want to disturb them. They're back here. If anyone's back here. No, it looks like it's open. Wow. Saturday, September. All right, let's go take a look. Pretty island, though. Here, too, on this campsite, which is the second one on the west side before the portage. Beautiful landing. As I recall seeing other videos on this one, it's a little bit of a trek uphill. Let's see what we've got. I am so amazed that these sites aren't taken. Okay, come across a nice tent pad as I trip on a root. Another tent pad. I don't know what it is, but I like sleeping and camping close to an island. And another tent pad. Kind of rooty though. Look at that. Oh. Oh, this is nice. 5-star. Look at this girl. Got the fire grate. Oh, looking out over Slim. So I got to go down there and to the left to get to the landing. Nice, clean fire grate. Where someone's doused that fire well. Yeah, this is nice. A lot of places for tarps. Definitely 5-star. I don't know how we fix for trees. Regular hanging, I don't see a problem. Yeah, here's 3 here. You got 1, you got 2, and you got 3. So I could put the Una right here. Oh, and wake up overlooking that. Wow, and the sun comes out. This is a nice sight, but where is everybody? This is amazing. Look at that island. Wow. Of course, someone left some wood for the next person. That's the right thing to do up here. So if you had any type of a eastern or northeastern, you'd be pretty much blocked. I like this site. You know, this might be an easy trip for someone who doesn't want to do any portaging other than the Portage Inn, which is a walk in the park, and come to a really nice site and enjoy the boundary waters and each other. All right, I think it's time to get back in the boat and boogie to the home portage. EP number 6, Slim Lake. Again, I'm taken aback by this site. You know what? I don't recall these trees have started to turn as much as they did in a matter of, what, 3 nights. But let's see, today is the 16th. And we're going back in on the 26th, so in 10 days I'll be back up here. Different part of the Boundary Waters, Kenue River, part of the Triangle, and I'm sure looking forward to that. This is just giving me a big taste of what's to come. Wonderful trip. Geez, after all the rock gardens I danced over, this is a nice way to end a trip. Nice and smooth and easy landing. Easy landing. Look at this. Another one's in the books. Wonderful time.